Jeffrey Sachs, a life dedicated to global development. Jeffrey Sachs is a name synonymous with global development. A renowned economist, academic, and advisor, Sachs has dedicated his life to understanding and addressing the complex challenges of poverty, disease, and environmental sustainability faced by developing nations. From his early work advising governments on economic reforms to his more recent advocacy for sustainable development goals, Sachs has consistently sought to bridge theory and practice, pushing for concrete solutions to global problems. This biography explores the trajectory of his life, highlighting his intellectual contributions, policy engagements, and the criticisms he has faced along the way. Early life and academic foundations. Born in Detroit, Michigan in 1954, Jeffrey David Sachs displayed an early aptitude for mathematics and economics. He excelled in his studies at Harvard University, earning a BA summa cum laude in 1976, followed by an MA and Ph.D. in economics in 1978 and 1980 respectively. His doctoral dissertation, focusing on exchange rate behavior and macroeconomic policy, laid the groundwork for his future work in international economics. Sachs's prodigious talent was quickly recognized, and at the remarkably young age of 29, he became a full professor at Harvard University, solidifying his position as a leading figure in the field. This early academic success positioned him to engage with real-world policy challenges, setting the stage for his transition into a prominent advisor for governments grappling with economic crises. Economic advisor and the shock therapy era. The late 1980s and early 1990s marked a turning point in Sachs's career as he began to actively engage in advising governments on economic reforms, particularly in countries transitioning from centrally planned economies to market-oriented systems. He gained international prominence for his role in advising Poland during its transition from communism, advocating for a rapid and comprehensive program of economic liberalization known as shock therapy. This involved price liberalization, privatization of state-owned enterprises, and fiscal austerity measures. While Sachs and his supporters claim that shock therapy helped Poland stabilize its economy and achieve sustained growth, critics argue that it resulted in severe social costs including increased inequality, unemployment, and poverty. Similar strategies were later implemented in Russia and other Eastern European countries, with even more controversial outcomes. The experience of Russia in the 1990s, in particular, saw widespread corruption, asset stripping, and a dramatic decline in living standards. This led to significant criticism of Sachs and the Washington Consensus, a set of neoliberal economic policies promoted by international financial institutions like the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. Sachs defended his approach, arguing that gradual reforms would have been insufficient to break the old system and that the short-term pain was necessary for long-term gain. He also argued that the failure in Russia was not due to shock therapy itself, but rather to the lack of strong institutions and the presence of corruption. Despite these defenses, the shock therapy era cast a long shadow on Sachs's career and continues to be a point of contention in discussions of his legacy. From economic reform to global development. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, Sachs shifted his focus from economic transition to broader issues of global development, particularly the fight against poverty and disease in Africa. He argued that poverty was not simply a result of bad policies or lack of resources, but rather a complex web of interconnected factors, including disease, lack of education, poor infrastructure, and environmental degradation. His intellectual shift was marked by a growing emphasis on the role of foreign aid and investment in addressing these challenges. He became a vocal advocate for increased international assistance to developing countries, arguing that with sufficient resources and sound policies, extreme poverty could be eradicated. The Millennium Development Goals and the Earth Institute. Sachs's commitment to global development led him to become a special advisor to the United Nations Secretary-General on the Millennium Development Goals, MDGs, a set of ambitious targets aimed at reducing poverty, improving health and promoting education by 2015. He played a key role in shaping the MDGs and advocating for their implementation. In 2002, Sachs founded the Earth Institute at Columbia University, a multidisciplinary research center dedicated to addressing global challenges related to sustainable development. The Earth Institute brought together experts from various fields, including economics, environmental science, public health, and engineering, to develop integrated solutions to complex problems. Through the Earth Institute, Sachs launched several major initiatives, including the Millennium Villages Project, MVP, a project designed to demonstrate how integrated development interventions could lift communities out of poverty. The MVP involved providing a package of interventions, including improved seeds, fertilizers, bed nets, and access to healthcare, in selected villages across Africa. The Sustainable Development Goals and continued advocacy. Following the conclusion of the MDGs in 2015, Sachs played a prominent role in shaping the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, a more ambitious set of targets aimed at achieving a wider range of development outcomes, including climate action, gender equality, and reduced inequality. He has continued to advocate for the SDGs through his writings, lectures, and policy engagements. Sachs has also been a strong advocate for international cooperation and multilateralism, arguing that global challenges require collective action. He has criticized unilateralism and protectionism, and has called for a renewed commitment to international institutions and agreements. Criticisms and controversies. Despite his significant contributions to the field of global development, Sachs has faced criticism from various quarters. Some critics argue that his approach is too top-down and technocratic, relying too heavily on external expertise and neglecting local knowledge and participation. Others argue that his focus on foreign aid is misguided, claiming that it can create dependency and undermine local institutions. The shock therapy policies he advocated in the early 1990s remain a controversial topic, with critics pointing to the negative social consequences of these policies in countries like Russia. The Millennium Villages Project has also been subject to scrutiny, with some studies questioning its effectiveness and sustainability. Furthermore, Sachs has been criticized for his close ties to corporations and wealthy individuals, raising concerns about potential conflicts of interest. His involvement in various projects and initiatives has been funded by a range of sources, including governments, foundations, and private companies, which some critics argue could compromise his independence. Legacy and impact. Despite the criticisms, Jeffrey Sachs has had a significant impact on the field of global development. He has raised awareness of the challenges faced by developing countries and has advocated for concrete solutions. His work has influenced policy debates and has helped to shape the international development agenda. His emphasis on integrated development approaches, which combine economic, social, and environmental considerations, has been particularly influential. He has also been a strong advocate for evidence-based policymaking, arguing that development interventions should be based on rigorous research and evaluation. Sachs's legacy is complex and multifaceted. He is a brilliant economist and a passionate advocate for global development, but his work has also been marked by controversy and criticism. Ultimately, his contributions to the field will be judged by the long-term impact of his ideas and policies on the lives of people in developing countries. In conclusion, Jeffrey Sachs's life story is a testament to the power of intellectual curiosity and a deep commitment to social justice. Whether advising governments on economic reforms or advocating for sustainable development goals, he has consistently sought to apply his expertise to address the world's most pressing challenges. While his methods have been debated and criticized, his dedication to eradicating poverty and promoting global well-being remains undeniable. He has left an indelible mark on the field of global development, shaping policy debates and inspiring countless individuals to join the fight for a more just and sustainable world. His legacy, despite its complexities, will continue to be studied and debated for years to come.